Welcome to Minor Disturbance Radio, or podcast, whatever the fuck you want to call it,
Nice.
where we talk about all things that rock and some that suck. But I'm super excited today. I've been waiting all day to do this damn podcast. Well, we've been waiting like 3 weeks, actually.
Yeah, we have been.
So, and Travis, you look like you're fresh from like a cake tasting or something.
As a matter of fact, I just had a marvelous massage and spa treatment
Nice.
right after I got off of work today, and I'm feeling rejuvenated, positively rejuvenated.
Awesome. I feel like shit today.
You
yeah.
look like shit.
Yeah, I know. Dude, my eyes are all red. I got this dumbass haircut. Let me tell you, man, if one more person asks me,
hey, man,
what happened to your hair? What happened to your hair?
Why'd you cut your hair?
No, here's how it goes.
Yeah.
What happened to your hair? And when they say that, it's like, why? What?
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like, am I on fire?
You gotta look surprised.
Eyelash?
I'm like, well, I cut it, and they're like, why? Like, did I just upset the fucking
you did.
universe by doing that?
Yeah.
Look, man, here's
stirred
why
the cosmic
people are
order.
like, why'd you do it? Here's why.
All right.
I cut my fucking hair because it was getting too long and straggly, and I'm aware when I see other people that are my age that are still rocking the long hair and all that stuff. You know, if you have to dye your hair every fucking week to try to, you know, whatever, it's time to cut it and try to get like a normal hairstyle. And plus, I have to drop my kids off at school, and I don't want to look like some.
Well, you have dark hair anyway, so when you apply dyes to darkness, even though it's dark like it should be, it doesn't quite look right. You end up looking like Alice from Brady Bunch.
Did I just get
I don't
ripped
mean
on?
like but I mean
okay.
I don't mean
No, yes.
yes, but I don't mean like you have a perm. Although if you got a perm, the hair color would be right to look like Alice.
But we got Travis Williams with us, and we got a special guest, Matt Fuller. I don't know. It seems like on Facebook you're taking over the world.
Yeah, really.
So
Yeah. No. Accolades are pouring in from all dimensions.
words like prodigy, sexy.
I thought you were going to say CompuServe.
CompuServe.
All the cougars that say that.
Yeah. Seems like you kind of, every time I check Facebook, it's Matt Fuller like, oh, he's jamming with this band or he's jamming with this band.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I just like to play.
Well,
awesome.
How old are you?
17.
And you're getting into bars and playing in bands already?
Yeah. I've been doing it since I was 8.
Ooh, this is going to get out to the authorities, man.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, some people ain't so high strung about that shit.
I don't care about it anymore. I already bitched about it enough.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if you're on stage playing guitar and doing your thing.
Well,
and
if you get paid, it's different if you get paid.
Right. But I mean, at this point, you're still out there kind of pro bono.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because when I was playing at your age, because I did too, I played, like the Clipper was my first gig of my life when I was like
Get to the soundboard.
15 or 16.
I think that was the first bar I ever played at, too.
It was, I thought I had made it. Anyway.
Mine was Old Creekside.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's and that Creekside used to be a McDonald's, didn't it? Yeah. Which I was
Marge
sad.
would be like, okay, you play and then you sit at the sound booth, right? So that's what you did. You got up there and you did your thing, and then you grabbed a couple beers and went to the sound booth.
where the cops couldn't find you.
I didn't drink any beers then. You know, at that point in my life, I was completely against drinking, against drugs like pot or anything. I was so anal about
But
it.
that shit gets in the way of your guitar playing, you think. You know what I mean? It was before you realized that it makes you awesome. Don't listen to me. No, you only think you're awesome.
So, Matt, you know, kind of the reason why I wanted to have you on MDR is because you're a young, up-and-coming guy. You haven't ruined your life yet.
Will help.
Yeah.
In fact, I consider this kind of like the first step. You know?
Yeah, you're getting around us.
Exactly. This is the first moment of your descent.
Yeah. So, I mean, what made you want to start playing? Somebody in your family or something?
Yeah, we had my uncles and my grandpa were the Pena brothers, so I always saw them play, and then I just naturally came to it.
You want to talk into the mic?
Yeah, get in it, man.
Yeah, you might want to get in it because you don't want to sound all. You're going to be pissed if you hear this back and you're like, damn it.
God damn it, sound like Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, right. No,
that ain't going to change. It's just going to be a louder Pee Wee Herman.
Exactly.
Right.
If you don't get in the mic, then he has to crank up the limiter, and if you do that, then you really hear the room. You sound like you're in a fucking,
space tunnel.
Exactly.
Yeah, we pre-recorded a little bit of you playing some blues. You're more of a blues player, right? Is that what you kind of market yourself as?
Yeah, pretty much.
So you're not going to be joining a metal band or anything?
You were trying to, though.
I was trying to, but nobody even knows how to fucking play bass around here, so
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So you didn't join a metal band because nobody knows how to play bass?
No, everybody that get you. Oh, I know how to play bass. You got a bass hand?
Oh, you couldn't find a bass player.
Yeah.
Fuck bass players.
Exactly.
I played the Trilighter with two guitars and a drummer.
Yeah, right.
I bet that sounds fantastic.
It was
Done
X and Province.
In fact, first time I played at the Clipper, drums and guitar only.
Yeah.
Bass
It
player?
must have been awesome. We were
Pretty
at
much,
the
man.
Trilighter opening for somebody, and we played nothing but Megadeth, and Metallica, and Slayer. That's it.
Chainsaw guitar tone.
It.
Yeah.
Oh, but we had all the double leads down and shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it sounded like two buzzsaws
Yeah.
grinding together.
Like Mike DePaul used to play guitar at Crazy Ace. When he'd hit that fucking dual Marshall rig, it sounded like Dimebag before Dimebag.
Yeah, right.
on bass.
No,
he played guitar
back when he
first.
played guitar.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
back when
yeah.
he played guitar.
Right, because he bought that Boss 7-band EQ pedal and decided that 5 of those bands were useless.
Oh, man.
The ones in the middle.
And he cranked those Marshalls all the way up.
You know,
Yeah.
there was a period in time when
Like
when I was coming up early in the 90s where everybody had rack systems, right?
Yeah.
And it seemed like, you know, you get the ART or whatever
Yes,
effects
dude.
unit that you get.
SGX night bass.
And all the guitar players I ever knew,
Totally, dude.
yeah, all the guitar players I ever knew way overdid the effects on their
Yeah.
rigs all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But it was
And-
Steve Lukather, dude. I mean, it was following that shit.
But it's so soupy you can't even tell what the fuck's going on.
That's the point. You could be a shit player and fucking have chorus swooshing around back and forth.
Horrible.
Fucking stereo.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like in the days of rack, like I avoided that. Like what I wanted to do, and I couldn't afford an Eventide processor, even though like I
can't
knew
either.
that those were the shit. Nobody can, but or at least at the time. But I knew I wanted one side dry, and the other side just a little bit out of tune and a little bit delayed. I knew that's what I wanted, like way early on.
So you needed a rhythm guitar player.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
You needed me to be your rhythm guitar player
Yeah,
because
so
I'm
something,
I'm
man.
dry
Yeah, I'm dry.
and a little behind.
a little behind.
I always just set one amp up dry and then one with like soaked reverb.
Soaked. Yeah, you could go that route.
Soak and reverb.
Yep, exactly. And because it seems like it's better if you can get a complete sound coming out of two separate speakers, like a completely dry tone and a completely wet tone coming out of two separate speakers from two separate amps. That's better than even having one dry and then the other one being a blend of dry and wet. Like if you can have 100% wet, that's the ticket, man. That's
See,
what you
I've
get.
never had an
It's like,
opportunity to do that.
Why
Yeah.
do you use so much reverb? Because I can.
Exactly, because it doesn't fuck up my dry tone. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Well, I was introduced to reverb from the PV Bandit. So that type of reverb, that's not good shit.
He thought that an equalization band was called
No,
Edge.
I'm pretty sure that whoever has
Can't
that
quite get
now,
enough bottom.
I'm pretty sure that whoever has that now, when they turn it on, it's still going
Yeah,
from one
but it
time I
is.
dropped that son
Yeah,
bitch,
right.
and them springs are still.
Every time you touch it, it go.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, come on.
What are you trying
man.
to say about the Bandit?
I'm saying the Bandits.
You turn the white knob all the way up, the blue knob halfway up. No,
man.
Remember they're like
You know what?
color coded.
This
or
reminds me of
something.
something. I'm actually going to shout out to my friend Kelly Myers. I don't know if Kelly watches this show, but he's one of my old school guitar homies, like way back when, man. He moved out to California with his family. I didn't see him for a couple of years. And meanwhile, we both started playing guitar. Then he moved back and he's like, "You play guitar? Yeah, man, I play guitar. You play guitar too?" So, and that's
Start a band.
And you know, you might know Kelly. That's Ryan's cousin. It's Ryan Myers' first cousin.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
Kelly. And they were in a band together, Paranoid by Noon. But I remember, man, he had a PV Bandit, right? And I think it was the turquoise line version of the PV Bandit. And he just wasn't getting the thing, right? And he came over to my house one day and his eyes were like wide as saucers. And he goes, "Dude." I said, "What, man?" "I just got the best fucking pedal for distortion, and it's called the Metal Zone." Dude, and he metal zoned that fucking
On
thing
top of
up.
a Bandit?
Yeah, no, he put it, you got to put it on the clean channel.
Yeah,
you got to put it on the
absolutely.
clean channel, right? You need further EQ. Dude, that thing sounded like a fucking. I mean, it sounded like a.
You know what he
Dyson
needed?
vacuum
I'll tell you.
cleaner.
I'll tell you the truth.
It's terrible. Like turd.
Here's the truth though. I spent my first couple years of bedroom bands jamming with the drummer next to the bed, and everybody's in the bedroom jamming. I fucking figured out that if you put the Bandit on the clean channel, just a Boss distortion, buddy, kills to that thing.
I think this is kind of the thing that everybody.
It doesn't kill, but it sounds like a real amp.
I mean,
it sounds better than the distortion channel.
Well, you were closer. It does, and this is the thing that nobody at the time understood about these getting distortion out of amps. And a guy like you're coming up under the right circumstances, so you have some understanding of this. But guys like us, we didn't get it.
I'm an asshole when it comes to that. If it doesn't sound right, I can't play.
But non-master volume amps. Dude. That is the fucking key to the whole thing. Because when you start...
If they do have a master volume, turn it all the way up.
Yes, exactly. Because what you're really trying to do is get as much density out of the amp as you can without making it so that your dynamic range gets squashed. You want to still be able to play quiet on your guitar and have a quiet sound come out of the amp. Do that with a fucking Egnator. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. You do not have dynamic range out of even a JCM 800 really even is a bridge too far on that shit. You get into 4-hole Marshalls and stuff from before. And
see, I bought Mike's old JP 100, that master volume one, before they went to the 800s. Yeah. I blew it up in a week, but it sounded great.
You got to be paranoid. If you got an amp that really sounds good, be paranoid. Be paranoid. So
anyway.
You
just crank it all the way up and make your pants shake.
So anyway, nerd discussion. Sorry, everybody.
To all the Travis lovers, this spot's for you.
Yeah,
okay?
right.
I let him go.
Yep. Don't fuck up your dynamic range. That's the point, man.
I had a couple people. Like I said, this happens to me all the time. I do this Minor Disturbance radio. It's called Minor Disturbance because I'm Brian fucking Minor, right? And then everybody's like, "God, great episode, guys. Travis is awesome." I swear to God. They're like, let him go, man. The gear talk and all the weird tangents you get on. There's big fans of
He's
that.
He's your ticket to the big time, Brian. He's your ticket to the big time.
I'm just gonna ride your shirt tails, man.
Oh man, I'm gonna start wearing shirt tails just for that purpose exactly.
Travis comes in with his Hendrix shirt on.
Yeah, well,
white lace hanging on.
If you watch all the old episodes, he's only got 3 shirts, just like me.
That's right.
It's either Iron Maiden, a dive bomb.
This is a new one.
Well, I got a new one. Well, because I live on swag, man.
Yeah.
My whole whole wardrobe is just shit that's given to me, pretty much. And I'm like, cool, new shirt. Cut the sleeves off, done. Here we go. So
it's in his contract. Whenever he just gets involved in any other kind of an endeavor where they're gonna have him on board with something, he always has that in there. It's a line item. It says Brian gets to keep any wardrobe delivered during the show.
You should see if I had a rider, if I was famous, it would be like, I need black, 5 black T-shirts, not sleeveless, but sleeved and cut off sleeve.
Yeah, right.
Don't fuck with me, man. Hey, these sleeves, these are him sleeves, man. It's not the same.
They don't roll up right.
I know it's white trash looking. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna wear a fanny pack too. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I gave up, man. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I realized, I looked at myself in the mirror the other day. I was like, "You're not cool anymore, man."
Yep, it's done.
It's over for you. So
I felt the same way. I was looking at myself.
You could either be sad or you could be a distinguished old man.
Yeah.
And start a podcast and cry about it.
with a fanny pack.
That might be stretching.
No, I was gonna say get the fanny pack. But then, put your genitals in a hole, so that way if anybody ever questions the fanny pack, you can open it up, and it's basically your junk.
Like a dick in the box.
Fanny pack. Totally a dick in the box, dude.
Damn. But listen,
Brian
man,
Miner.
this area is so full of talent as far as guitar slingers, guitar players, and saturated is a good word, but I wonder if every town's like this.
Range, and that's important to consider when continuing saturation.
I wonder if every town's like that though, or we just don't see it. No.
I don't think so. I think that there's a pretty special culture of instrumentalists here in town. I think it's evidenced by the number of people who have moved elsewhere and done great things. I mean, we've had, and I'm gonna also include some of the outlying areas, Geneseo, Aledo. Places like this. I mean, not just obviously guitar players, but bass players, drummers, singers. We've had some hella talent around here, man.
Well, I've got a treat for you guys. I put a little something together that I thought was very interesting, and it kind of shows it kind of sheds a light on just the difference in time, like when guys like Yngwie were coming out when I was young.
Diarrhea fingers.
Yeah, when guys like that. Yeah, but guys like Travis and I will never ever figure out how to do that the way that he did it because it was too late in our growth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we were still learning, but.
We can understand the concepts even, but we're not going to sit and take ourselves to that point. And even if we did, we're not going to get the tone. I mean, to me,
plus you didn't have YouTube and stuff back then either.
No shit, man.
We could touch on that in a second, but I want to show you this real quick.
I still won't use it.
I put this together to kind of for fun.
This is going to be a montage of sub-12-year-old Asian girls that shred the fucking faces off of.
So check this out.
All right.
The next thing is not appearing on a record as of yet, something I actually composed for this particular little video.
Yngwie Malmsteen, so important.
Yes. The worst teacher ever.
And the reason for this is because
he's so smug.
The most
he is, dude.
extreme arpeggios that I ever come up with.
That I've had. Yeah.
A lot of different melodies.
I am the greatest.
I know. It's like he's from Sweden, yet somehow he's from the Hamptons.
Mandatory leather pants. You can't play this without leather pants,
Gotta
kids.
have the leather pants.
And a hair flip is good here and there, too. And all of your mom's jewelry on.
Douse it.
Your God. I wonder if a 16-year-old girl could do that.
Yeah. Back there is.
16-year-old girl totally bored with this shit.
Yep.
Now watch Yngwie here. It seems like he's trying to play what she's doing. He's gonna start to get painful face. You're listening to the girl now, and she's nailing it.
Although I gotta say, her tone is shit.
Who cares?
Well, I care. Because I care about guitar. I don't care about operating a fucking guitar, you know what I mean?
Guitar is not good.
It's all about the fucking music.
She's playing a $3,000 guitar for sure.
Oh yeah, those things are super expensive.
What guitar is it?
So check Yngwie out here. He's fucking losing it. Watch. Oh, goddamn. She's still like rolling her eyes and shit.
Plus
hold on, Travis. Hold on, man.
blazing trail. She's following suit.
It doesn't look like it. It looks like Yngwie's trying to play what she's playing.
Except we know.
Watch.
Yeah, I've seen her before. Yeah.
Tina S is her name.
Yep, I've seen
and she's
Tina.
from France. I don't know. I fell into YouTube world one night and I just came across this girl. And man,
she plays a whole wide range of.
I can't stop watching
pieces.
her play just because I know that 16, her brain's still like connecting all the dots and shit like that, and she's taking the time to learn all these pieces note for note all the way through.
Yeah.
I mean, what really hooked me was she did Altitudes by Jason Becker, and Jason Becker was always my like favorite guitar player.
He was always kind of my favorite too, but it was because he actually wasn't the cleanest guy. You could hear the humanity in his playing.
You could hear himself in his playing.
That's what I like about him.
Check this out, because I want to show you Tina playing the coolest passage of Altitudes.
Okay, that's cool.
All right, check this out. Well, this isn't Altitudes yet. This is actually Beethoven. She gets it, dude. That's gorgeous. Here's a Jason Becker part. arpeggios are no joke, man. She's fucking awesome.
I mean, I'm sorry, Brian, but that shit just does not do it for me.
It doesn't do it for me either, but I'm trying to tell you what I'm trying to say.
She's got a robot's hand up her ass.
Yeah, but she can play anything. She can play anything. What I'm saying is, all of us guys that are still trying to learn how to play Eruption, the jig is up to me, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, right. Exactly,
what I'm trying to say is the man behind the curtain isn't there.
No, if
the universe is spoiled for me, because it's like all this stuff that I thought was godly and like, oh my God, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
And then when you see a 16-year-old girl doing it, you're kind of like, this whole thing's it's easy. You know, it's easy if you start now.
Yeah. Right, yeah. And you break it down to elements and you figure out an approach and you do everything in this very calisthenic kind of way, and you approach it in a way that makes
proper lessons.
And you adhere to all this economy, and you conceptualize the performance according to these physical principles. I mean, okay, you know what I mean? But there's no wonder there for me. There's no wonder. I can engineer that in my mind. Big fucking deal, dude. That's how I feel about it. I'm like, big fucking deal, man. I'm
not trying to say she's the best guitar player in the world, Travis. I'm trying to say that she's a 16-year-old girl that can shred you and you and me.
Okay, cool.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's cool. Well, everybody can shred me now because I'm not a shredder anymore. That's not
anymore.
He's not getting my fucking point.
No,
I'm not trying to say she's like Bonamassa or whatever. I'm saying that this girl is like got it going on for what we wanted to do when we were 16.
There was a 12-year-old Russian boy.
30 years ago, we were 16.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And,
I remember that.
or whatever, or even more.
Yeah.
And this stuff was brand new.
It was, yeah. There was nobody had done the analysis yet. The engineering hadn't happened.
You have to sit with the cassette player, and you got to rewind it. This is how I do it, too. Because I fucking hate YouTube. You just sit there and you got to wait for your song.
Yep.
You got to guess with the tape.
Yep. I was awesome
YouTube's the way to go, man.
What I was awesome at was that I realized that my rewind function was faster than my fast forward function. So I'd flip the tape and rewind it in order to be able to fast forward it. And I knew where in the songs on the opposite side I had to be to get to where I wanted to be when I flipped the fucking tape over.
Yeah, I mean, never had to rewind it.
But I mean, that shit notwithstanding, I mean, it's kind of as an example, you didn't get it. This shit that happened with country music, 40 years ago. I mean, speaking of like Les Paul and Chet Atkins and Roy Clark and all these guys Merle Travis, all these guys that like blazed this trail. Once they did it, though, then it cleared the way. I mean, you couldn't, like, as an example, you could not have Chet Atkins without Merle Travis.
Yeah.
There wouldn't have been Chet Atkins without Merle Travis. Now, it's arguable that what Chet Atkins did with it was something that eclipsed what Merle Travis was doing. But it was because he already had these elements to work with, and then he just fucking 2 turntables and a microphone.
This is coming from a guy that doesn't like George Lynch.
You don't
like George Lynch?
I don't.
Should we beat his ass now?
I don't. And by the way, I keep going back. I just think he's boring. And I just think he's boring, and I don't really like his tone. And I keep
That's my favorite part about him.
But I keep going back.
He's boring and his tone sucks.
But I keep going back and watching live footage of Dokken in there.
Don't do that, butthole.
No,
watch Into the Fire in 1987. He's got like 3 Jubilee Marshalls, and
that's the one I watched.
He's
dude.
ripping ass.
His tone is fucking terrible on that video. He sounds like a jumbo.
Well, what was your tone like in 1981?
Right, exactly. It was a Marshall fucking lead 12 solid state.
Dry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How could you say he's boring though?
I just don't like his. I don't like his phrasing. I don't.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I don't like his phrasing. He doesn't speak to
everything that's good about him.
That's what people like about him. I get
from
it.
The guy that says Yngwie is better than Joe Satriani.
Who says that Yngwie is better than Joe Satriani?
When Paul DePaul was on, you're like, yeah, Yngwie's got way better tone. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah.
Tone-wise?
Yeah, I think so. Now everybody, and this is notwithstanding how it is that, and we were maybe discussing this before the mic started rolling, but it's the idea that when somebody does something really great early on and then gets all these accolades for it, then they become an imitation of themselves. And the same thing happened to Yngwie. I mean, the very early shit he did, like Alcatraz, and then the very first Rising Force, fucking great guitar tone, dude. Especially if you listen to it on vinyl, man. Black Star, fuck off. I mean, his guitar tone is like clear as a bell. But then later on, that's when shit started getting all grayed out and sounding nasty.
Maybe that's because once you get enough money, you start buying too much gear.
That is what it is. You end up with choice blind.
Just going through the motions now.
Okay. How many brands of grape jelly are there?
Who cares?
Well, but I mean, I'm gonna make an analogy here. But how many brands are there, right?
One, Smuckers.
Exactly, right? There's one brand of grape jelly, and it's Smuckers. Now, some other person might walk in here and be like, fuck you, it's Welch's. Clearly
but I guarantee that the people at Welch's and at Smuckers go, they like grape? Let's put more grape in it.
There's more grape, right, exactly. So then
Can
they
we
come
make
out
it
with
graper?
But here's the thing that's fucked up, is that, okay, so they do that. So now there's 8 different versions of Smuckers and 5 different versions of Welch's, and everybody else getting in on the bonanza of grape jelly that are putting out all the... So you go to the store and there's like 15 kinds of grape jelly, and then you look at it and you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with all this? And then you don't buy grape jelly.
Did you just make an Ingve like jelly sandwich?
Yeah, I did.
Crazy.
But the point is that when you start getting too many choices, your brain goes on tilt. And I think this happened with a lot of those guitar players, particularly in the Rack era. I mean...
See, that Rack shit, it always confused the crap out of me.
So it is confusing.
My point is, well, see, then you haven't lived, man. I'm telling you that my upbringing in guitar has been hard. You guys have it fucking easy, you kids. I'm telling you, you buy one of these Line 6s, you got 80 fucking different amps in there.
None of them good sounding.
None of them good sounding, but good enough in your bedroom.
Go plug into a super reverb and tell me if you want that.
Okay, be in my bedroom in be in my bedroom in 1989 or whatever when I'm trying to string together a bunch of Boss pedals with what battery's dead? Who knows? Was this cord bad? I don't know. Fucking you got like 6 pedals lined up there stomping on them and shit. And
my first amp was like a Washburn 15 watt.
Yes, dude.
Tweed piece of...
I
still got it.
Oh, really? Is it like a Washburn GA15 or something
exactly
like that?
What it is. That thing sounds like shit, but if you put like a sub kick and a 57 on it through the PA...
There you go, dude.
It thumps.
Instant Weezer tone.
No, it sounds like Ted Nugent.
Does it know
78.
shit? Fucking ripped speakers and shit.
He's going to bust your ass all night. He's not... You in a bad mood tonight, Travis?
I am, man. I am in a pissy mood. Fuck everyone and fuck everything.
How was the factory today?
Oh, man.
Extra pissy?
Oh, it was a clusterfuck, man. We made shit that killed people worldwide again today because that's what we do every day.
That's because you looked at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Can't kill them.
So we were talking about tone and our guitar players in general. Yeah. And
everybody's going to be so bored with it.
Oh, dude,
I don't give a fuck.
Man.
You think listen, MDR is built on boring people.
It's built on not giving a fuck.
That's what we're supposed to do. But you're talking about guitar players, and I, Travis, you were kind of jumping my shit about the technical ability of the 16-year-old.
Yeah, right.
Because you seem to make it. It makes me feel like you think that I'm saying she's the greatest guitar player.
I don't think that you think that.
I put that together to just show like our 14-year-old or 16-year-old kids that idolize these kind of guitar players.
What we thought was amazing
in our 40s are seeing 16-year-old girls bored doing it.
Yeah, the context has changed.
Right. So
I think what he's saying is that she's got the technical ability down, but it's missing the magic.
Who cares? It's not even about what she was doing other than she can nail our heroes.
Yeah, right.
She's doing things that we were listening to, like shaking our head when we were trying to learn it. Right. You know, like I don't think I'm ever going to be able to figure that out.
But at the same time, I mean, the context has changed. And, you know, you sort of brought it up and you didn't have YouTube. And I kind of brought it up, which is the idea that what you're looking at is not a piece of art. You're looking at a piece of engineering. You know what I mean? You're looking at a piece of manufactured content. You're not looking at something that's the first thing. You know what I mean? It's not striking a match. You know what I mean? It's not like the first.
I thought I just said that leading up to this that I'm not impressed by what she's doing other than she's copying some stuff that you and I could have never learned. And she's 16 and she's a girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And if we were 16 and we were seeing a 16-year-old girl doing that, we probably wouldn't have even tried to play guitar.
Right, dude. No, I mean, if
I sitting there like Beavis and Butthead, boing.
Yeah.
If I had seen a receding hairline Kirk Hammett wearing a purple shirt riding a horse, I probably would have never fucking played metal.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
And I think we picked up the guitars. I think we picked up guitars to try to get 16-year-old girls.
That's what we thought.
That 16-year-old girls are shredding our ass.
Well, that's what I mean.
I think she play in a band.
Yeah, right. But I think we thought we were going to get 16-year-old girls, but instead we just got more 16-year-old boys.
Yeah, but we're not talking about at our age. I'm talking about when we were 16.
Yeah, when we were 16.
Fucking call the cops. That's not what we're saying.
No. I'm talking about when we were 16.
Yeah.
All we ended up was attracting a bunch of dudes.
Right.
That's what it amounted to.
Yeah, but you know what that bought you? You know what that bought me back in whatever it was when I was the cool kid on the block? It bought me like a couple guys that would protect me in any situation.
Word up.
You know, there would always be these dudes like, no, Minor, man, fucking Minor's here, fucking back off, Minor's here, man. Yeah. He shreds, man, he's fucking bad. He can play Master of Puppets.
They protect your hanhands.
I know.
They
It's
protect
like,
your
hold on.
hands.
What should I do with these? I'm just gonna walk through here with these. Don't anybody touch them.
Right, fucking
Hold on.
iodine stained. Perfectly
Can you give me some mittens for these things? It's cold in here.
Oh, I need to wash my hands. Do you have any distilled water?
No, but you know, it bought you that, and people made you feel cool at a young age, and then you kind of got used to that thing. And I'm going to play your spot here in a second because we all want to hear you play guitar. But what I noticed about when you sat down, you're 17 years old, when you sat down in here and you strapped on your guitar, and I said, okay, we're going to record a couple runs through this blues backing track thing. I would have been nervous. I'd have been scared.
I've never been nervous, like ever since I was 8.
Well, that's one kind of magical thing that I see about you, kind of is special about you, is because you didn't seem bothered by any kind of you didn't seem uncomfortable. You seemed right at home. You didn't mind a couple other peers watching you as you do it. And for me, I'd be like, I'd be very self-conscious then. But you did a great job, and here and there you do things that you didn't land it the way that you wanted to, I think. And you didn't go like this or anything, or stop. No, just do it over. You know?
That's why I don't ever play anything note for note. I just improvise. That's the way I love it.
Right.
Yeah, that's the way you got to do it.
Yeah, it's free form, and if you don't land,
sometimes it's not the greatest.
But it's you.
See, I'm inspired by that.
Yeah,
That's inspiring to me.
Yeah.
I wish that I could think like that. I think that whenever I do shit that's dumb in front of people, I feel like that's the only thing they're ever going to remember is that lick that I didn't quite land, Yeah.
Sometimes it ends up being the perfect thing.
Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite guitar player is Hendrix, so everything is... Sometimes he's making mistakes that he's like, I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't stand Hendrix.
Yeah, I mean,
what?
To a lot of people, I know it.
Fan.
Yeah, see, here it is, man.
None of us can be friends.
See, now who's on whose team? Because I mean, I knew Jimi Hendrix was great.
If you're talking about Little Wing or something like that, I'm all aboard.
I went through a...
You gotta listen to the chords, man.
I went through a phase with Hendrix where I kind of was like, man, I think the ideas are great, but man, I wish he'd tune his guitar. But then now I go back and listen to it, and I think to myself, no, that's just exactly right.
You need to go listen to Machine Gun.
Yeah,
dude.
I know Marty Friedman's
fucking Band of Gypsies, and fuck Marty Friedman on that.
He's like, I'd rather chew glass. I'm like, well, chew glass than do the world a favor.
Exactly.
You don't like Lynch. I don't like Hendrix. Is there a guitar player that's like some big guitar player that you don't really care for?
Yngwie.
Oh, okay. So you're
not
Yngwie.
Early Yngwie, but Yngwie now it's like, man.
Yeah, I like
tone.
I like 3 things from Yngwie. But
all right, let's talk about Warren DeMartini.
I fucking love Warren DeMartini.
Yeah.
Then how can you like Warren DeMartini and not Lynch?
Yeah, because I'll tell you exactly why. It's because Warren DeMartini is more of a Van Halen type guitar player. If you really listen close to what he does,
dude, the slide vibrato, come on, that's Lynch all the way.
But the slide vibrato,
the phrasings too.
I don't think so.
That's Lynch.
I don't
guitar
think
right
so.
there.
I don't think so, man.
I think Lynch is a bit looser, and I think he's more of an ad-lib kind of soloist.
That's what I like about
DeMartini is precise, and everything's really nice.
He is, but I mean, but DeMartini, he has that way of playing pentatonics that has that abrupt kind of phrasing that
they're both pretty bluesy.
For those who don't,
Van Halen does.
For those who don't know or don't listen to 80s music, our guitar players that we're talking about right now is George Lynch from Dokken, of course, that band's always made fun of, and Warren DeMartini from Rat.
Right. Which
so
it's funny because just earlier this week I kind of went on a mission and just kind of scoured all the old concert footage that I could find, and comparing it to, since there are a lot more recent kind of reunion tours and things like that, just to see what happened with certain guitar players. Like I watched, I can't believe this, but I watched a Winger concert. I was fucking impressed.
Winger
man.
is badass.
Dude, I was fucking impressed. Number one, I did not know.
Can we start that movement right now?
What an insane...
Dude, it is now cool to crank old 80s hair metal in your car.
They're all studio guys, for one.
They're all music professors,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But it can't be Poison. We're not talking about Poison.
No, fuck Poison.
Winger
but there was...
Okay.
The musicality of Winger.
I'm sorry if I cut you off, but
I was impressed, man.
That whole genre of music, you know, when all the 80s metal came out, there was some really good stuff that got fucking destroyed because of Poison.
Yeah,
that's true.
Poison took a big crap right on a lot of cool shit. I mean,
man, is that a chick?
But but at the same time, I mean, I think what Poison offered was something that like prog rock really suffered from.
They got the 16-year-old girls.
They got the 16-year-old girls because they were more of a punk band. I mean, they were doing something.
They were a party band.
That's however you want to define it.
And that's wonderful. But
my point is that their approach was simplicity. You know what I mean? They weren't trying to fucking blow your mind with like
shit. Listen, you've got you consider Poison glam metal?
I don't know what glam metal is.
Glam rock,
but there's something.
It's glam, right?
There's something glam about it.
Is Rat glam?
I know they wore makeup, but like I see, and I would not say like people say, "Oh, Poison, dude, hair metal." I'm like, there's nothing fucking metal about that band except for the shit buzzsaw fucking guitar tone and the fucking nasty Kirk Hammett vibrato. It's gross, dude.
What happened to me? Okay, let's take
makes your fucking
ears hurt.
Let's take the Talk Dirty guitar intro and put it against the lack of communication.
Oh, dude, it's on like two different sides.
What I was appealing to, and because I had a penis, not a vagina. I was born with a vagina, but I grew a penis later. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I have a penis now.
You have
and I had one.
You have both? No, no. Every fetus starts out female. So really, what we all have here.
Huge clit.
Is a hormonally overdeveloped clitoris. That is what it is. So go ahead.
It's like the episode of Family Guy is like, Mom, what happens if my penis and my vagina touch together? Yeah. You have both?
she's calling people down in Van Nuys like, you gotta fucking get some cameras down here. This is some real shit.
So how do you segue back to guitar here?
Okay, yeah, right.
No,
but are they the same genre of music? Is that the question?
Yes, because that's what I'm trying to say is anytime that I say hair metal or 80s rock, anything like that, they immediately want to think of that end of things.
Yes.
And I've said this a million times on here. I respect and appreciate what Poison is, but I would always go towards the more street stuff like Rat, you know, because the vocals were more gritty. They were more like cocky, I guess, and it made me feel cool because they were being.
Rat was like the '80s Aerosmith.
They're kind of like standoffish lyrics, kind of
the way that
rough and tumble.
His vocal to me was just like I was like, it's just so like street, like he'd kick your ass too.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
And he'd take your girlfriend.
Right, exactly. In his thigh high boots, he fucked your shit up. He fucked your shit up. Little thumb dick.
He was in Playgirl.
Totally, dude.
He was in Playgirl, and of course, my wife and anybody I've ever known is like, he was in Playgirl.
Right.
Thumb dick. You know what I mean? It's like, really? He couldn't
stuff your pants.
Dude,
like, come on, put something in there.
They didn't have Photoshop yet. So, therefore, Toad.
There's no way that I would go in Playgirl and be like, standing there all like, check it out.
How can you feel comfortable with yourself?
I don't know. You know, because, I mean, maybe he thinks he knows how to use it. I don't know. But I don't know, man.
Small penises say.
Yeah. And that's another thing. That's another thing I noticed about these rock stars, you know, because they all have sex tapes, and I've seen them. I've seen them all.
Right.
Of course, we all watched the Tommy Lee one, right?
Right.
You had to have seen it because it was Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee. You can't fucking not watch that.
Yeah, right.
Steer the boat with that thing?
Exactly, he does too.
So you guys want to go bone, or do you want to watch Tommy Lee and Jen Jameson fuck? Or I'm sorry, what was her name? Not Jen Jameson. Pamela Anderson.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, same. They're pretty much the same chick, man. Both all fucked up after surgery. Both got hep.
Yep. Probably, yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah. But, Jenna, I looked at a picture of Jenna Jameson recently.
It looks like
and
two watermelons, like, stuffed together.
No. I'm talking about her ass.
That's what I'm talking about.
They're getting these stupid-ass implants that fucking stick straight out like this, and I'm like... What the fuck would you want to do that for? That looks ridiculous.
There's a chick who's an R&B singer who has just ridiculified her fucking posterior. I mean, it's a woman named K. Michelle, and if you look up K. Michelle, she actually ended up then reducing her implants because she was like,
I can balance a tall pack of Budweiser.
She was like, I can't move around, and now this big ass is fucking with my money. I mean, and so that was it. I mean, she decided to like...
I'll go through a conversation in the break room at a place that I worked at. One of the cashiers got a breast reduction.
Right.
It was like this. I'm unrolling a burrito.
Uh-huh.
You hear that so-and-so got a breast reduction? Bitch.
That's pretty much about it, too, man.
That was what it was like right there. We were like mad. It's like, who the hell would do that? And then you realize that, of course, you do that if it hurt and all that, whatever. But
well, I had to get a penis reduction because I want to be able to ride my bicycle in capris.
Sure.
So let's talk about.
So anyway, no. You asked a question, and I don't think we quite got around to it.
Okay.
Which was that what happens to the genre of music? Why is it that people gravitate toward one particular image? I was going to bring up the Ozzy Shot in the Dark video because obviously Ozzy's hair is teased as fuck, and he's got shitloads of.
It got weird.
It got weird.
I don't know. It looks like Black Sabbath mixed Duran Duran.
Pretty much, dude. Yeah, it was like the Reflex meets fucking Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. But so there was that, and obviously Def Leppard was in there. But then you had Winger, which Winger, by all accounts, really was a corporate band. I mean, they were a put together band out of some really talented musicians.
But they call them Winger then?
Yeah, they call them Winger. Well,
we need the guy with the hairy chest.
Here's the thing that sucks. Here's the thing that sucks is that so I watched this Winger video and I lead in and I'm like, oh, okay, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I was really impressed, right? Well, do you remember on Beavis and Butthead that
these guys suck?
Yeah, right.
Shut up, Beavis.
Right. So one of them had a shirt that said Metallica, right? And then the other one had a shirt that said
AC/DC.
AC/DC.
And Stewart.
But Stewart,
the nerd,
the fucking kid that they wanted to beat up, right? And just take his
Stewart's
shit.
ass.
He was wearing a Winger shirt. So I think
I thought this was common knowledge, and then that kind of made the common people think that Winger must be
they that
dumb.
suck. Yeah, they're the band that sucks. Yeah. So what's sad about all of that is that it all happened because people had expectations of a genre that really had nothing to do with the music. I mean, and the same thing happened again with grunge. If you listen to Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden, you listen to those bands, they aren't in the same fucking genre, but yet they're all grunge bands.
Yeah, I got you, man. Yeah, there's a lot of diversity in that.
Totally. It was just a fashion. It was just a way of dressing or a way of looking, or even just a period.
You know what I don't get is how do you go from Rat playing arenas to clubs? It's like, where did all the...
You know what? We'll touch on that. We'll touch on that.
But go ahead.
But what I was trying to say is Winger, now that you say that it was a put-together band.
Right, they were.
Okay, so it had all the components for that time.
They're a fucking killer band,
You had to have, it was like George Michael's, if George Michael's did metal.
Yes.
And grew his hair out, right?
Yeah.
And the 5 o'clock shadow and the whole thing, I saw that video, I was like, am I supposed to look like that?
So here's the deal. I watched the recent Winger video and I was like, fuck, man. These guys are really fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, well, let's go back in the day and see what the thing is, right? And he comes out and he's got the fucking Madonna Blonde Ambition fucking Britney Spears microphone, you know? So he can't talk really between songs. He just breathes hard in the thing, right? But he's singing his ass off. And do you remember watching that video for Headed for a Heartbreak or for Madeline or any of those videos, Easy Come, Easy Go? You see him doing all this shit with his bass. It's like the motherfucker isn't even playing his bass. He's just posing with this bass for the fucking camera. This guy is a spook. He ain't playing. This is bullshit. Okay, so I watched the old concert footage. He's doing all that shit and playing every single note. And I'm like, what the fuck? How is that even possible?
Somebody needs to send us a Winger shirt for Travis.
And the thing about Winger, about Kip Winger, is like he never.
I'll wear a Metallica shirt. You wear an AC/DC shirt. You wear a Winger shirt.
I'm gonna be Stewart. So, and the whole time, right? The thing is like he does it so smoothly, and he never looks. And he never misses, so you just think to yourself, it's just got to be a put on, but nope.
Well, here, I'll take you to the now. I'll take you to the now with that guy.
Yeah, okay.
That guy still is at it. I mean, he's not out there like chasing that.
But he writes songs though.
He composes like symphony type shit now.
Yeah,
he's like he loves music, and now that that made him legitimate to me. That made him legit to me. Yeah. He's really a musician that just got caught in that time of being thrown out as a object of whatever that cool thing was then.
But I mean, knowing where the high notes are, knowing what how he could measure them and how he could hit them exactly without spending too much shit, and then hold them with power. Dude, Travis, I was impressed, man. I couldn't fucking believe it. I hated you. How are you good? How are you good? But yeah, you go back and you clear your eyes out and clear your open.
I'm in an 80s tribute band, and we tried to learn 17.
Oh,
okay.
Shit,
First of all, you need a fucking badass guitar player.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Red Beach is a beast.
But it's all upstrokes and muting.
Well, even that opening riff is finger picked. I mean, he's not. It's kind of like the Money for Nothing riff in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, I got these vocals. I show up to practice with my little lyrics, and I'm like, whoa, I saw fly from the Whoa, damn, he's singing high on that part. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, try it again.
He is,
Try to do it again. Yeah. And then, there's like certain things in there that he's belting out, and it's right on that crack on your voice.
Yep.
Like, hello.
Yep. That dude was
so I was
real.
like, hey, let's not do this
real
one.
Shit. And it's, and honestly, the thing that really kind of, in a certain way, kind of fucked Winger over just had to do with what the environment was at the time for a band that was good and had good songs and was going to make their play to make some money selling records.
Yep.
And they ended up being a T-shirt of the kid that they wanted to beat up on fucking Beavis and Butthead. And it's sad, man. It's too bad.
Do you remember the one where they made fun of King Diamond? Is that the Count off Sesame Street?
Yeah, totally, dude.
There was a point in that era where whenever a video came on Beavis and Butthead, you were hoping that if it was your shit, they'd love it.
Yeah.
But if they shit on it, you knew it was like, uh-oh.
You'd be mad. Yep.
Yeah. And then remember, Monkey
shit.
Business by Skid Row comes on, and here's Sebastian Bach in his leather pants, his pointy boots, long ass hair, skinny as fuck.
Enough money for this video.
No, what he said was, this chick is pissed. And then it's like, right, that's how it started. That's how it started. And I'm like, oh no.
Pissed.
Like, God, she's kind of hot, or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Let's spank our monkey to it.
Yeah,
totally.
like that. And then they're like, let's change it. And then I don't even think they play the whole video. They like changed it in the middle of it. You know what I mean? So then I'm
Sucks. Change the channel.
Yeah. So I knew that I was like, oh no, Skid Row's getting shit on. But that was when they were actually, everything was taking a dive at that point.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it was too, And there were some cool bands that were out kind of
what fucking band changed me?
What band?
Like,
I'm going to take a guess.
I'll throw a couple in there.
I'm going to take a guess.
Okay. I don't want you to say it.
Okay.
You're always stealing my shit.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to guess.
Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh, okay.
Dude.
I didn't think you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say White Zombie.
No, I rejected White Zombie.
Okay, because I did too.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck these guys.
Thunder Kiss was like the only song.
Nine
That
Inch
was the
Nails.
only jam. I'm with you.
Nine Inch Nails and all that shit. I was like, seriously, every time I go out, yeah. And girls are like,
this is my shit.
Yeah. No, they're freaking out.
Yeah,
and I'm
right.
awkward. I'm in a flannel shirt, my rolled up pants, my high tops, Because this, you got to remember, what year was that? Like,
But you're dressing kind of grungy.
What year was that? 90.
Oh, barely.
Yeah.
Barely 90. I mean, yeah, I was, 14 or 15, so it would have been 89, 1990.
Hated that shit.
Yeah. Chicks were fucking insane for it, though. Because to them,
they
that was
lose
like
it.
metal. I mean, it was dark, but yet it was sensual. I mean, it was empowering, yet it was, condescending.
At that point, I think I was still trying to learn like the weight solo,
Yeah, right, dude, yeah.
Connor's a badass.
He is a bad motherfucker. He is one of the dudes that...
That's why I wanted to bring him up.
Okay, yeah.
Because I wanted to contradict your. I think that you don't think I have taste.
I think you do have taste,
and
Brian.
I'll tell you,
Tastes are just different.
when you're talking about stuff like that, Vito Bratta was one of the guys that exploded my head with like, whoa, the phrases, the chords,
that
the
was
chordings,
the key, man.
and
it was the music of what he did.
Oh my God.
It's not just bar chords.
No.
He was a very precise Eddie Van Halen.
He really was, man.
Very precise.
I always
Red Beach was kind of in that category too.
I mean, it was Van Halen on roids.
Yeah. But with just like super music, man. I mean, like his shit, beginning, middle, and end. Every solo was a story. I mean, that's
again. Think of that band. You got Mike Tramp in front, like this beautiful
David Lee Roth
mix.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. Pretty
and
much,
then
man.
just this virtuoso. Like I said, Winger had all the components, just like White Lion. You got to have a hot singer.
Yep.
And you've got to have a virtuoso lead guitar player.
Yep.
You could have a dipshit bass player and a drummer. Who cares?
Yeah.
Look at the drummer for Whitesnake. What was his?
Tommy Aldridge.
Tommy Aldridge.
Yeah,
Tommy Aldridge is a badass.
That dude is Skeletor on crack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's weird looking.
But the octopus, dude.
Yeah, he is. But he's a bad motherfucker.
Dude, he played on some killer albums.
What I'm trying to say is rock and
all that Pat Travers shit. Yes, man.
If you're a kick-ass rock and roll drummer, you could be ugly as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Be
No,
cool
you're right
looking.
about that.
Yeah, that's
that
my
dude,
point.
You're like, yeah. Why the long face? Seriously, why the fuck is your face so long?
Dude looks like a sloth.
He did, man. Everything but the claws.
Whitesnake again. That's something to me that had a certain style to it. There wasn't.
Yeah.
It was classy in a way. It was like classy metal.
But it was kind of like post Zeppelin, post Blues Boom, kind of like metal, but really more blues pop oriented.
But Coverdale, man, he can sing.
He could sing, man. The motherfucker could sing, no doubt about
John
it.
Sykes, talk about vibrato.
huge.
John Sykes is nasty. Yeah, I love that record.
Yeah, but again, I mean, the thing about him was I never really much cared for like his shreds, but I mean his phrasing and his sense of what to do. And I kind of feel that way about Reb Beach. Like again, you know, watching those two concerts and seeing young Reb Beach versus old Reb Beach, and looking at what things he always does the same way in a given song, the stuff that he brings forward. Like I actually prefer older Reb Beach, even though he's a little sloppier, you know, with doing how he would use the two-hand technique, which he pioneered a, you know, sort of 3-finger, no open string kind of method for doing that stuff that none of us had really quite seen. We'd maybe heard Steve Vai do it, but we never, it was in your face on an MTV video, you know. So, but the stuff that he brought forward and retained, I think really is the best of his actual compositional work. The dude composed guitar solos. If you watch him do Headed for a Heartbreak, all of the thematics of everything that he does, including all the little noises. Is he talking
about Winger again?
Winger, yeah.
Good God, Travis.
All the little thematics of everything that he did.
For Winger.
Yeah, dude, I totally understand what you're talking about.
I'm telling you, man, my mind was kind of blown about, you know, just how good a band they still were.
Here's a little story for you about Vito Bratta.
Okay.
I heard an interview where he called in finally. He disappeared for a long time.
He did, man. Yeah, he was like fixing refrigerators in New Jersey or something.
No, that's not what he's doing. But he called in to Eddie Trunk or whatever, and he did an interview, and I got a couple good tidbits out of him. For example, then at that time, Eddie Trunk called the producer that produced the first record.
Right.
And they were talking then. They haven't heard from each other in a long time. And so Vito Bratta is like, hey, yeah, he's talking to this producer. And the producer goes, hey, Vito, remember when we rolled the weight solo? And Vito goes, yeah, you told me that it was just to warm up on it. And then we can go. And you took the take that I warmed up on. He was just ad-libbing.
Crazy, dude.
So the take you hear on Weight is him just throwing something in there.
That's insane, dude.
Which
so you know Mr. Crawley, right?
Doesn't make any sense to me.
He had some other solo worked out for that, and Ozzy's like, man, that sounds like shit.
Yeah.
So he just played whatever he felt. And
really?
That ends up being
That's wild, man. The same thing is true for the Beat It solo, Eddie Van Halen. He walked in and set up his shit and noodled around to the song once, and he was like, okay, I'm ready. And they're like, no, we got it.
See, I always constructed solos, too. I'd have to sit down and do that.
I'm kind of with you. I'm not good at it, man.
But one time, I didn't have something that I liked for Not Even, a song, Drop Hammer song. And I remember Bill, it was Pfeiffer, me, and a couple other people just hanging around the studio, right? Just guys that I didn't really know that well, but were friends with Bill.
Sure.
And Bill goes, Brian, pick up your guitar. We're going to do this solo right now.
Okay.
And I was like, what? And, you know, I wanted to be tough, kind of like, you know, be like, all right,
man, yeah.
Fuck, it's on. Maybe I'll feel it. Maybe this environment will make me do something.
Maybe it'll bring something.
And that's the solo on that one is we just rolled, and I hated it. I was like, no, Bill, that sucked, man.
Yep.
He's like, that's a take. I'm not changing it. You can do it, but I'm not touching it.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? I was like, fine, we keep it.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember, it's a similar kind of story, but a completely different song and genre. It was Bob Dylan doing his vocal part for We Are the World. He's like, hey, and he gets done and he's like, that sucked. And Quincy Jones is like, no, that was great. He's like, you're wrong, that sucked. He's like, nope.
So you guys ever do that on the 8-track? You think it sucks and then you listen back to it and you're like, holy shit.
I've had that happen too.
On an 8-track?
Yeah, I got a little Tascam.
Sure, you know.
Okay.
I mean, any recording device. I mean, if you got decent preamps, a decent microphone, and it's going to lend some kind of cool character to what you got, some tape.
Yeah, you didn't have to go get a summer job detasseling to buy an 8-track. You know what I mean? A 4-track back there was like $400.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I think that this would give, you know, we're talking guitars and all that stuff, and I think now would be a good time to play that spot that we recorded. I want people to see you play a little bit, and then we'll talk about and have a good time with it. Is that cool? This is Matt Fuller. that was Matt Fuller playing some blues for you. Really impressive.
Yeah. It was definitely cool. I mean, you got to put on your big boy pants, man. Play some fucking blues, Brian.
Yeah. Well.
Or your old man hat.
You know,
see, that's the thing.
I'm only good because the only thing I do.
All right.
I do that, play drums.
That's it, huh?
That's all I do.
Really nice. Although you were playing through my Line 6, which isn't the greatest amp in the world, but that Flying V that you're playing, that Gibson, can you tell me about that guitar?
I've had that thing since I was like 9 or 10, and my dad's friend found it in the garbage. The headstock broke.
That's wild, man.
It's all original. Just the headstock's been broke.
Who the fuck has a Gibson and like, just put it in the garbage?
That's some dude's woman.
Oh, she said, "Fuck this motherfucker."
She was like,
yeah, I think it was some girl on like 14th
thing.
and Gaines.
Yeah, dude.
They're like, "Oh, it's broke. It's not repairable."
Totally.
I took it to Dean Bryan. He had it fixed in like 2 days.
That's excellent, man.
You ever had a girlfriend that tried to fuck with your guitars when she got mad?
See, honestly, she probably could have fucked with. She probably could have fucked with my guitar, and I would have been okay. But she tried to fuck with my amp.
Oh.
And I was serious about that shit at that moment, and yeah. We got in a fight so bad, she fucking pepper sprayed me.
Well, you probably deserved it.
I probably did, but it fucking ruined my contacts. They were the only pair I had. Actually, you know what? I don't even think I had 2 contacts. I think I had 1 contact.
All right.
I've been walking around like Popeye for like fucking 3 months.
I was at practice.
Where's a cigar lighter?
Exactly.
I had these two cabinets that somehow I gained. They're like old PV cabinets, and they didn't have the fronts on because they Velcroed on, but the Velcro didn't work anymore. So it just didn't have any fronts on it, right? And so I had them 2 cabinets sitting there, and some girls came over, whatever, band practice, you know. Like, all right, we got some girls coming over. And one jumped up on my cabinet. She's like, hi! And she like jumps on the cabinet, starts kicking her feet. Like kicking the speakers out. And I'm like, I'm fucking losing it, you know? So I got out some Elmer's glue and some toilet paper and fixed them.
Yeah, dude. Put it back together.
It sounded just fine.
I bet it did. I bet it sounded exactly as good as it did before that.
Silicone. I did that.
You've done that with silicone?
Yeah.
Another one was I had a girlfriend one time that was trying to help us tear down.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
She tore shit down.
So I had this 412 on wheels, right? And then I had my rack on top, which was way bigger and heavier.
Right,
Had my 120, 120 in it.
Yeah.
And she pushed it side, not even long way. You know how if you're going to do it, you got to do it long way.
No, she tried to like push it like,
She pushed it like that.
And it went up.
And she's like, I got it, honey. And she's going in the dance floor. You can see the edge where the transition to carpet right there. And I'm like, and she's like, poke, and that fucking head with the tube amp in it, boom, and it slides about 2 feet. And I'm like,
shit.
Start twitching.
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
Start getting a little
dude.
twitching.
Yeah, exactly.
But it landed on the carpet.
But it's like
glued down fucking carpet.
It's like watching a little kid try to walk backwards. That's what his amp looked like.
Yeah, it was horrible.
That's too bad, man.
Yep. But yeah, I've been in fights before with one of my first girlfriends. You don't know how to fight when you're a kid. It's like, fuck you, I saw that guy talking to you. And then I can do what I want. You know, all them stupid fights. Whatever. What do 16-year-olds fight about? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Quit fucking other people.
Exactly.
You know, whatever.
Well, I mean, we just project our insecurities onto the world, and that is ample fodder to fucking
anyway,
everybody else
I
for
caught
your
you
problems.
by the dumpster.
She hated. I could tell because anytime that we were fighting, I'd always have my guitar in my hand back then. No matter what I was doing, if I was at home, my guitar was in my hand.
Yeah.
And, and here's what you do to really piss off a girl: just look at them and go,
"Yep."
While they're yelling at you, and and go, "Huh?
Yeah.
And it was like talking. Start doing it again.
It basically just places them in parentheses immediately.
Yeah, that's when they grab your guitar and try to take it from you.
Yeah.
Or something like that, and then you're like, "Whoa, bitch! You better slow down! Call the cops!"
I know Street Kwando.
Yeah, but I've had them threaten me with that shit. Like, I'm gonna break your Kiss records. Like, wow.
Damn.
Crazy bitch.
You don't have to get crazy.
I'll fucking rip all your bras up. How about that? I'll pee in your makeup case.
He's got his guitar on the couch, and she's like, if you don't quit tuning on that guitar, you better do some picking and tuning on me. And she starts grabbing his guitars, and he just keeps grabbing another one from behind the guitar. He just keeps grabbing one after another.
That'd be me, man.
That's some funny shit, man. I think my favorite Stevie Ray Vaughan video does not have Stevie Ray Vaughan in it. It's the one where Hitler is in his bunker and he's receiving
he's
bad
trying to
news.
nail Stevie's
He's receiving bad news from his generals about his inability to nail Stevie's tone. And he's convinced that if he just doesn't fuck around with any Analog Man reissue fucking TS-808s, that he's going to be able to nail that tone.
I got 2 super reverbs. I got a screamer and a wah-wah.
Right.
I just need his fingers.
Yeah, right.
It's in the hands.
Totally.
It's in the hands.
Okay, anybody who thinks that it's in the hands may leave. Who doesn't think that it's in the hands may leave. Right? Yeah.
We've seen that. You've got to watch.
And the chick's crying in the hall, and the chick, she reassures her. She goes, "It's okay, honey.
Travis, you
Analog
can't-
Man does mods."
You can't fucking do that. You can't just start doing that without telling people what it is so they can watch it.
Oh,
you know
that's
what I mean?
right. Yeah. No, you got to find it. I mean, it's Hitler.
It's funny.
It just looked
It's
up
an
like,
old movie overdubbed with people
Yeah.
saying different shit.
Yeah.
And Hitler's reaction to finding this shit.
Well, you could probably provide some context with your fucking brilliant editing skills.
So I'm running up to I'm running into Matt Fuller sometimes. We're hanging out playing somewhere, and then he comes up. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? I've heard good things about you. I've seen some stuff on Facebook of you jamming with people, and I'm like, it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. And then I was like, good kid, whatever. But then he mentioned, hey, man, you're Brian from Drop Hammer, and I'm like, yeah, hey, hold on a second.
I sat him with Dive Bomb. He's like, how the fuck do you know Drop Hammer songs?
Yeah, he gets on stage, he starts playing a Hammer song, and I'm like, I remember the song. I don't like it, but what?
Yeah, what song
oh,
is
that's me, shit.
Oh, that's
and then
why,
I'm like, okay, so he took the time to learn a couple parts of a song so that he can look cool in front of me. But then come to find out, you know a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. I listen to it all the time.
It's that's weird to me, man.
Yeah, that is weird.
But shut the fuck up.
I just listen
You're
to
just
it for
pissing on
styles.
Mariana CD,
Exactly, man. Where's your Mariana CD?
Oh, you'll
there
like
isn't
some
a
Mariana.
Mariana CD.
Mary's anus?
Mary's anus. Yeah, it's quite the trench.
You guys didn't discuss that at band practice where it's like, Marianis is good, man.
Yep.
But it kind of rhymes with Mary's anus.
Yep.
Who-
No one will
people
ever say
remember
that.
name.
People will remember. Paul Ferris did. Our buddy Chewy. He came up with
Did he
that
play
name.
with Rachel's band?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Paul Ferris. He's got a Mike Holland amp.
Okay.
Yeah,
Those are great.
yeah. Give Droll. Cool amp, man. But yeah, he's the one that came up with it, and I thought, okay, yeah, it's kind of like the Marianas Trench, which that word is not Marianas. It was.
I always thought it was just some variation of or some slang word for pot.
Well, yeah, probably. But we were.
Why
gonna-
would you say that?
Because now I'm going to bars. I'm like, hey, anybody got any Marianas?
We were going to
You got
call
any
the band
Marianas?
Huckabee, but that fucking didn't really name that some shitty pot.
Yeah.
But anyway,
What was that band name you came up with? You told me about the MDR jam. You're like, Vaginormous.
dude, yeah, that was that fucking.
He was pissed that he
dude.
couldn't use that.
Dude, that band name was Money.
Yeah, but be a female singer singing for that band called Vaginormous or Huge Vagina or whatever the fuck you call it.
Vaginormous. Thank you very much.
Vaginormous. Yeah, okay.
Thank you
How
very
about you
much.
play with a whole bunch of girls and you're the singer of the band? They call you Tinky Dick.
There, dude. I would totally do that. I would totally do
Pencil
that, man.
dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pencil dick. Exactly.
And now the next band in the jam, Tinky Winky.
Exactly.
Skid marks and the dick knuckles.
Totally, dude.
You'd be like, yeah, can we be something else?
No, I'd be on board. But
No,
that's
you-
me though. That's me though.
Other dude's like,
I'm
"Can
down.
we be like the
I'm down
dirty
for.
dicks and the
I'm down.
pussies?"
I'm down for self-deprecating humor though. That's just me. I'm down for like you said, Mary's anus.
Yeah,
that would have been a stop sign for me. You know what I mean? Like I would have been like, that's a little too close to Mary's anus. I would have been like, that's kind of close to Mary's anus.
But
We can get away with
Dude,
this.
this is gonna be great.
It's kind of a little different for you though, because the person that we were dealing with probably took a little bit of pride in the situation that she was in.
Whoops.
And then maybe all of her friends that were there didn't want her saying, I'm in this.
No, yeah. No, Jana, I forget her last name, but hi, Jana, if you watch this. I said, we were going to call the band Vaginormous, and she looked up at me and she goes, no! It's like,
Talking about Tanner's wife.
I don't know. But
And you got to remember, these are going to be on the back of shirts,
Yeah,
too.
right, yeah. Yeah.
You're going to have to stand behind
Yeah.
it that much at high V, with
yeah.
Vagina-normous
Dude,
or
yeah,
Vagina-normous or whatever.
dude,
I can't even
it's
say
not
it.
like
Vaginal
any of the
infection.
other fucking names weren't seedy or anything. I mean,
Vaginormous.
Sticky socks. Come on.
Vaginormous. Are
Vaginormous.
we gonna have to go through this
like
same thing like we did
Just
with
the tip.
with the
Drama major.
Drama major.
Yeah.
Drama
We
major.
might.
3 songs long. No, it's 3 long schlongs.
That's right. This song is just. This song is just.
Anyway, yeah, people want to come up with the coolest names, for the jam. That's always
That's
a good
cool,
time.
man.
But not vaginormous or whatever the fuck.
Vaginal infection? What?
Yeah, I don't know. Brian he just can't seem to. I was gonna say he can't seem to wrap his head around it, but it's really he can't seem to wrap it around his head.
Vaginormous.
Think about it.
Vaginormous.
Yeah.
Vaginormous.
Yeah,
You
it's
should have
like-
called it vaginormous and the yeast infections.
There you go. All right, man.
And then she's like, yeah, that's cool,
There
man.
you
I'll
go.
fucking go kick ass in
There
front
you
of all my friends under that name.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Vaginormous and
You're
the
evil. How dare
Famundas.
you?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, D.
Trust me, if I was in your band, I'd be like, nah, no,
Dude,
Travis,
what's the
let's
matter
not
with
call
you?
it. Let's
Travis is
not.
on crack today.
I don't think, Travis is one of them interesting kind of guys that the more I get to know him, look at how he smiles.
The
See, we're
weirder
talking
and
about.
less understandable he actually
Yeah.
is. It's like, I never knew you were fucking weird. What's wrong?
I don't
with
think
you?
that Travis likes attention unless it's selected by him and it's the right kind of attention.
That's right.
There's something that he's very self-deprecating, and he won't sit there and be like, yeah, that fucking kills, man, unless he's by himself or with us and nobody's listening. But
Like, man, that shit sucks.
Everything sucks.
yeah,
I hate my life.
I hate you. I hate my life. I wish everyone was dead.
Reminds
but
me of Eeyore off of Winnie the Pooh.
Pretty much. I have an Eeyore T-shirt.
But when you got here, you said it yourself. You're like, well, I just always think of you as this normal guy, but God, you could play. He's a great player. Travis is a great
tries to
guitar
hold
player.
that like he's a butthole, but he can actually shred.
Anybody I've ever talked to has always said, besides that you're an asshole, is like,
it's awesome. So you've met my family.
no, here. I'll tell you what, everybody that I run into when I bring up Travis Williams, they're always like, oh, fucking great guy, man. Good guitar player, too. Like you wouldn't think that, but damn, he is. And out of all these people that I know that say that, there's one that poked up, was like, yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah,
It's like,
fuck that,
And I was
dude.
like, what? Did you just say Travis Williams was an asshole? It's like, are you sure it's the same Travis Williams?
Yeah, I
the
know
one
that
that
dude.
works at Music Go Round?
Yep, that thinks he
Like-
fucking knows everything.
The dude with the
Fuck
there's
that
like-
dude.
there's always that one
There's one
person.
dude. Yep. That one
Four
dude who's
antennas
like,
hanging
no,
out.
he did me wrong. He fucking did me up like a bald head.
You know
Fuck
what-
that guy.
Somebody should do. They should take a video camera and go into any bar establishment that's going to have a whole bunch of people from the scene that might know who you are, and you not be there, and just have them go, what do you think of Matt Fuller? And see what they
Right,
say.
exactly.
That kid plays too loud.
Yeah.
He way overplays,
Yeah.
and he thinks he's a shit.
Yeah.
That's how it always
Yeah.
is.
I don't even want to see the one of me. What do you think of Brian Miner?
See,
He's
don't-
a
that-
huge erection.
No, honestly, no, you said it right. I want attention in the way that I want it selected by me. Like, I'm sure that the person that thinks I'm an asshole, actually, it's just a big misunderstanding. That if I could actually come to terms and, we could have a discussion about it, then chances are we'd be able to mend our fences. But it belies this other point, is that actually I am an asshole. So really, as much as anything, if somebody thinks I'm an asshole, I'm pretty sure they don't know why I'm actually an asshole. They think I'm an asshole for a reason that is not a legitimate reason. The legitimate reason why I'm an asshole is because I fucking hate everything. But I hate it all equally. So I'm always ready at any moment to just shit all over everything. And I'm really sorry about that in a way. But it's just kind of...
Somebody's got to do it.
But that's just kind of my thing, man. I mean...
Travie Downer.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fucking downer. but what for me,
bumming me out, man.
For me, it is a point of optimism for me, because I realize then this opens my doors to everything, because I'm not gonna be pleased by anything I come across in this world. What I have to do is find something in it that's interesting or useful. That's what I have to look for. Is find something in this just shit pile of crap that's everywhere, that's just loaded down with all these unreasonable errors. And that's another thing too. The reason why I think there are errors, and what people look at and say, "Oh, that's an error," completely, to me, most of the time, the thing that somebody else would point to and say, "Oh, that's an error," I'm like, "No, that's what gives its identity. That's what makes it stand out." But the part of it that most people think, oh, no, okay, that's the good part. That's the part that I'm like, nope, this is bullshit. This is fucking background noise. This is fucking meaningless.
Okay, now say that. Say what you just said in like one or two sentences that I would understand.
Layman's terms.
The thing that people think is good is the part I think sucks. The thing that people think sucks is the part I think is good.
For example, like cuddling with kids and watching movies.
Dude, that's marvelous, man.
Well, then you're on the right track, kid.
Except for I got a sweaty back, and this screen isn't nearly fucking big enough.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right. I see where you're at.
Since it's a DLP projector, anytime there's a bright object on the screen and I dart my eyes around, I see big fucking rainbows.
Okay, is this the original version or is it the Alkaloid version?
Yeah, exactly, man. That's what we're talking about.
I'm the opposite of that, man.
I should have opted and spent the $5,000 and just got the 3-chip display instead of this fucking color wheel bullshit. I just didn't want to have desaturated colors like a fucking LCD. Is that so wrong?
Wrong.
So that's what's going on in your fucking dome.
Yeah. It is because my I find fault with everything. There is some.
You know what's going on in my dome? I'm like, damn, man. I said we got a big fucking TV, man.
Yeah, right.
I can't believe this thing still works. I bought it like 5 years ago.
I'm all like,
awesome.
I'm all like, really, man? When you upscale, you don't notice all this fucking dot crawl? And Jesus Christ, will you turn off that 120 hertz filter?
Oh, fuck.
You know what? It makes everything look like a fucking home video.
You could buy the
TV.
You can buy the 3. Yeah, listen, butthole. I had a tube TV before that one.
Hey, bring back my tube.
I'll take the flat TV. I'll take the flat fucking LCD.
Just 'cause it has tubes in it.
Well, yeah, right.
When that shit started happening, you know when
let's watch TV. Okay, let's let it warm up.
Yeah. You know when it went from like the tube TV to all of a sudden you had these flat screen TVs. I mean, I was like, oh, fuck, baby, I'm going to get a 63. I saw a 63-inch motherfucker. I was like, yes.
My ordered that got an 84 inch.
It's about as big as that banner back there. You know, and we put that on the entertainment center in the living room. We're sitting here like, what's TV like this? And I went, fuck this.
I still think the best TVs ever made were the initial offering of CRT televisions that were 1080p. Those were the best. They had the best contrast. They had the best life. They looked fucking great. They weighed 85 tons, but I mean, those were the ones that were the best ones. But it was like there was a year and a half of that, and then plasmas and LCDs.
But I remember, man, seeing the first flat screen LCD.
The ones that got the light bulbs in them.
Yeah.
No. You're thinking of a rear projection TV.
No, them things suck. I hate them things.
Fuck those things.
Dude, we got a JVC that's like a 60-inch, and it's got that, and the light bulb blows it.
You know what, dude? I see them out on people's curbs all the time, and the kids in the neighborhood don't even take the time to bust the screen on it like I would. If I was a kid, I'd be like, we're busting that fucking screen. Before the garbage
boxes.
Yeah. So we can hit it from here, dude. Go get something.
Okay, beat it with it. Hey, don't inhale that powder. Don't inhale that powder that comes out of it.
No, that's good powder, man.
Yeah,
it makes me feel funny.
Fucking exactly, man.
Would you break it, though? I mean, if you're walking down the street and say, okay, 10:30 at night, you're walking with your bros, you don't have your license yet, you're like walking from one house to the other, got to be back by 11.
Yep.
And you fucking walk by with your buddies, and you see that TV sitting there and nobody's around.
No, I see the TV, and then I think, okay, where is a reasonably sized rock?
Where's the gold in the TV?
Ooh, landscaping right over here. I'll take this retaining wall block. Thank you very much.
And it'd be...
Because when they implode, they don't explode, they implode. It's
and then what's the next move?
Man. Run like a motherfucker, and you can't run because you're fucking laughing. You're out of breath trying to run. You got no strength because you're fucking laughing.
Every time I put something out by the curb like that, I'm like, if it's got glass in it, I'm like, some fucking kid's gonna break this. And you know what? Hasn't happened to me yet, and I'm thinking, are kids getting better?
No, it's because they're fucking looking at this shit.
Yeah.
I'd be mad if somebody broke my screen.
Something, man, because I'm busting that shit.
Their eyes are glued to them things.
Pretty much, dude. If the point of the conversation is, do I find fault with everything? The answer is yes. But so now, all things being equal, then it makes it so that there's really no point most of the time, unless I'm being asked about it or if I'm just clowning in a conversation like we do on the show. There's no point in even bringing it up. It's just sort of my own fucking hatred for things has become background noise. I don't care. Now the only times it really starts fucking with me is when I'm trying to make something. I'm trying to make something just right.
Do you feel authentic? Do you feel like your emotions that you put out to everybody is real and you stand behind it?
No.
You're hiding behind some sort of...
No. It's not about hiding behind. It's about the way that everyone tries to get information out is flawed, and it makes it so that information can't really come through easily or clearly. And it's a rare time when somebody actually get something out into the world that says something true about themselves, and everybody tries to.
Listen, nobody knows what the fuck is going on. Nobody has a clue.
Nobody has a
you think you've got your shit right, and
you don't know shit.
I see people all the time. I'm like, that motherfucker's got his shit right. and then you go hang out with him and you find out he's a cokehead or something or something bad.
How little you know. You don't know jack shit. Like, you'll do something, you'll think, I just did, yep, that was good, that was useful. And then you'll watch it for a minute and you'll see the fucking dominoes tumble and you realize you just fucked everything up.
I just realized that Matt is 17 and he hasn't lived enough to fucking be as like old and sinister as we are.
Well, he's getting to do it right now.
What did I say? Listen, here, I'll just sum up this.
now.
This is all I wanted to say to you in this podcast, okay? Right. Can you sing?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Get on it.
Learn how to sing.
Get on it now.
Because if you're going to do what you're going to do, you've got to be able to sing and play guitar.
Into a microphone, dude.
In front of people and look like you mean it.
Yep.
Instead of like doing you're doing good getting into people's psyche. The next thing, and it needs to happen quick, is we need to hear your shit.
Right.
In order for people to go, for me, I'm just giving you my advice. I mean, I could be completely wrong.
I'm kind of on your page, though, with this.
Who cares what I think?
Right,
but if you really want to hit it home and hit a home run right now, like, you've got the credentials. You've got everybody on your side. I mean, I just saw Ellis Kell just said something about you having...
Oh, yeah, Ellis is like my uncle.
Well, I didn't know that shit. But
he's like your uncle.
Yeah. I ran into Ellis Kell in the elevator at the RME. Yeah. Well, my sister used to babysit his kids.
Oh, cool.
And she was like, well, whenever he has gigs, and when I was younger than them, so I was like, gigs? He plays every fucking weekend. She was babysitting all the time. He's playing all the time. I was like, this dude's for real. This guy's playing all over the place, and he's great. Guy's killer. Yeah. Anyway, he don't know me from shit, so I'm in the RME elevator, and Ellis Kell gets in. I recognize him because I've paid attention. I know who he is.
Yeah.
Anybody that plays guitar around here does.
Oh yeah.
So we're in the elevator, and he's like, "Hi," and I have Lexi with me. She's just a little girl, and she's like, "Hi," and he's like, "Oh, you like music?" She's like, "I like Kiss," and I'm like, "Oh, not in front of Ellis, man."
No,
he's
Ellis
like,
is down though.
He was gonna be like, "Oh, damn, you're ruining another kid," and then she starts singing "God of Thunder."
Awesome, dude.
And Ellis Kell, and he's like, ding, hitting the buttons on the. I gotta get out of this.
No, he was not, dude. No, he was not.
But I was so proud of her. I was like, I was proud of her inside. I was like,
Ellis probably was Ace Frehley in a pickup band version of Kiss one time when they came to the Quad Cities in 1979. You know what I mean? Like Ellis has played all kinds of gigs.
Play rock at one time.
He did, man.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever had like a real conversation with him. I think there's something in the chemistry between me and him that I don't think that he doesn't like say, "Hi, I'm Ellis Kell." I don't know. There's something it's weird.
That's not his style.
He senses your fucking.
That's what it is. I think he's gonna be like, "Oh, this dude thinks he's Yngwie Malmsteen," and he has
it's actually
he don't know shit about shit.
But it's you thinking that actually puts out the vibe, and that's what
exactly
fucking derails
right.
everything.
Thank you for clearing that up.
You're welcome.
Because that's what you manifest the situation, right?
You get nervous when you meet people that you like. Like, do you go like?
No, it's not a starstruck thing. It's just my wife and I have this same syndrome, and it is whenever you interact socially with somebody, and it might seem like I'm completely secure in myself because I do a podcast and I play on stage and all these things, but that's really just a battle with this other Brian that's trying to fucking hide in the corner and give up.
Yeah.
The one that wins, though, is the one that comes out and proves to himself that he can.
Right.
And when I walk into a room, I immediately try to put that guy forward first. But then I always leave a social interaction with somebody wondering what they thought of me.
Right.
Instead of wondering what I think of them. And that's something that I'm trying to turn around. My wife and I are both the same way that way. We go, every time we talk to somebody like this, say we're at a bar or something, and I'd have an interaction with you for a couple minutes. We say a couple funny things and bro out, nugs, and then you walk on by. I would turn to her and be like, "Daddy sound like a dick?"
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then
breast stink.
Right.
Yeah.
But she will be like, "Well, your breast stinks, Brian, and you fucking got a booger," but that's all right. No.
Right.
Anyway, she'll do the same thing. She'll be like, "What did they think? I don't want them to think badly of me."
But those are the sorts of things. I mean, that's what's at stake when you're trying to get out ahead of the issue of your own insecurity by, presenting this face. You know what I mean? And because I'm telling you, I've been down the road with stage fright. Like when I was probably about your age, I had no stage fright, none. But I developed stage fright as I got into my 20s. And the reason why I developed stage fright, in my opinion, is because of all the effort that I did to try to get out ahead of my own failure on stage. Putting on nice clothes, trying to groom myself to look great, wear, always have, fresh strings and a shiny guitar and a big amp and, all of the stuff that I wanted to try to do to get out of the head of falling on my face, made it so that I fell on my face because I was essentially feeding the monster by doing all that stuff. Had I just not cared about any of that and went out there and played my guitar from the place where I know how to play my guitar and not put on any airs, I would have been fine because there would have been nothing at stake. I didn't need for people to like me. I didn't need to be someone like a bull. I just would be playing my guitar.
That's awesome.
That's how I am.
Yeah. And stay that way.
There's
shit that can get in your way though as you get older. I mean, but if you play your cards right, then that won't happen.
There's people that can look back at their career and look at old videos of themselves or think about how they felt on stage and kind of be like embarrassed now.
Yeah.
I know that there's several people that have to be, like, oh man, I was totally putting on this fake thing, and it's obvious now when he'll be like, oh, look at Dad, man. He fucking looks like a dumbass. But I gotta say, when I was doing the drop hammer thing, when I dug in, it was coming from that guy.
Sure, yeah.
And I was doing what Brian does, and it wasn't me like, oh, I'm gonna try to look cool here.
Right.
It just happened, and I just wanted to shove it down everybody's throat because you have to overcompensate with. Sure. You're the master now. You're the king of the universe right now.
Yeah.
And act like it.
Sure.
Feel it. You might not be, but at least you're going to play that part for a second.
That's what I mean. And I think that's the reason why we want to be comfortable in the delusions that we create for ourselves. We don't get to know, this is what I'm saying, is we don't get to know what the value of the real person is. That's the identity that's been shoved in the corner and tried to be forgotten about. You know what I mean? We don't get to engage. We don't get to be a whole person. And you can only do that for so long. You can only kick the can down the road for so long before the shit falls apart. And it happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you.
Well, see, when I get up and play guitar now, I still kind of feel like that guy that was in Drop Hammer, the 20-year-old guy that was...
Put your foot up on the monitor.
Oh, all that stuff. But I'm not doing that because of anything except for I can reach the guitar better that way.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Right?
And,
because you got it slung down.
I mean, I got to admit, I try to suck my belly in a little bit. That's fake.
You can watch.
But then you get on Facebook the next day and you thought you looked like fucking Sebastian Bach and fucking Rio de Janeiro,
You're like,
you're like, God, man, I still got it, man. And I look at some pictures and I'm like, oh,
wow, that gut. That gut really makes me look fat.
That guitar feels weird with the gut. It's different now. But it pushes the top down so that you're like, whoa.
Yeah. I like what you were saying, though, about the idea that, when you do that stuff now, you're really doing it. The real you is involved. And, I mean, I think it just stands to reason that you could look at two people doing the exact same thing, seemingly, and one of them could be doing it as a real thing, and the other person could be doing it as a put-on. And it will look the same at 20 paces. The only difference is one of them is going to be able to keep it up indefinitely, and the other one's shit's going to fall apart at some point.
Well, man, what do you got coming up? What are you going to do? What's your plan?
Just write my own stuff and get my.
Have you been writing?
Yeah, I do write my own stuff.
You've got some shit recorded?
Yeah, we did a CD up at Justin's studio. That was all originals.
Cool. Shows you what I know.
Cool. We're fucking
Bust
around.
it out, man.
Get
Come on, let's hear it. No, see, he gets uncomfortable with that. Yeah.
But that, that's
like, let's have Brian sing fucking Skid Row in front of two people.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Woo! Yeah,
I've done it.
Well, he's done it well.
I've sang Skid Row songs better at like parties, drunk after hours with somebody with an acoustic. I'm downstairs in the basement. Everybody's trying to go to bed. I'm like,
I want to the sound of. That's
me and one other guy that loves Skid Row are like cranking out all their hits.
Yep.
Everybody's like, shut the fuck up.
It's been 2 hours since the last chick held some other chick's hair back.
Yeah.
It's bad news.
Yeah, it's over. The party's over. Sun's coming up, and I'm still like, dang, I smoked 2 packs of cigarettes tonight and drank 2 12-packs, and I'm singing my ass off right now.
Damn it.
But then I got a gig at 10 o'clock tomorrow, and I'll drink water all day and fucking warm up all day, and they'll suck.
It'd be terrible. Again, I mean, you're just undermining yourself, man.
You go get a couple thick burgers, man.
There you go, man.
Slam them.
Keep smoking them cigarettes.
Yeah.
If we had to be rational and logical about every fucking thing that we did in the world, cool shit wouldn't happen anymore. I mean, we'd all just be, fulfilling the function of working at a fucking factory like I work at. You know what I mean? We'd all just be these drones. Can't have that, man.
That would suck.
It would suck. It would suck for all of us. All kinds of.
Do you remember the first time you figured out how to spell baloney?
Yeah.
It blew my fucking mind, man.
right.
I was like, what are they saying? B-O-L-O? You know, when they're singing the song, I was like, that ain't right, dude. That ain't how you spell baloney.
Yeah, that's some fucked up Midwestern.
Baloney is B-A-L-O-N-Y.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, right, baloney.
It's not Bologna.
Bologna.
Lasagna.
Lasagna.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Lasagna.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Fuck,
well, I mean, it's that whole
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah. Now, I mean, I say Wednesday. That's the way I say it because that's what the fucking letters are.
You know what I said the other day just to piss my coworker off?
Go for it.
Advertisement.
Advertisement.
I said, well, I was looking at this advertisement, and he was like, dude, do you ever say that again?
Yeah, I'll fucking kill you. Yeah. Well, how many people say February instead of February?
February is what everybody says.
February. But everybody says February. Although one of the
Is
real
it a library or a library?
It is a library.
It's a library, and if you say library, I would be like, you just fucked up.
Okay.
Bone
Now-
apple tea or bone apple tea?
Right, exactly. Whore's divorce or hors d'oeuvres. But now what about
That one blew my mind too. I was like, hors d'oeuvres.
How about everyone that says hardly anybody says the word second? Hey, just a second.
Oh yeah,
Second.
yeah. Only people.
Just a
with,
second.
Only people with winger shirts say that.
Second.
Shit.
That's right. Yeah.
Just a second.
1 second.
You got to have a
please.
cigar and a robe on for that shit.
I can't.
Just a second.
Okay.
Sipping your weenie tea with your
Now, my mom-
out like this.
My mom says wash.
I drink my beer like that, dude. I'm like, yeah, I'm badass tonight.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What the?
Wait, wrong finger.
I drink like a sissy.
All right. Anybody wash?
I hate
Crick.
that. Or toilet.
Crick.
Toilet.
Toilet.
I never heard that
toilet.
one.
Yeah,
Toilet. The toilet.
Toilet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crick.
Drive a Toyota.
Creek. Oh, you know what I always say? I'd be like trying to ask people if they have a spigot on their
Spigot.
house.
Yeah,
and I feel
right.
bad saying that word. I'm like,
Right.
am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Or is it a
Spigot.
spigot or a spigot?
It's a spigot.
I say
Yeah.
spigot.
Yep.
And people are like, you can't say spigot.
A tap. Do you have a tap on the outside of your house?
You ever say
Do you have a
spigot?
faucet?
Or do you
Spigot.
say the hose? Go get me the.
Go get the hose.
Hook the hose up to that.
Hey, you're
What
gonna
do
be
you say?
offending somebody.
Hose
What do you
sounds
call
way
it?
cooler.
Hold on. What would you say? Go hook up that hose to the.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
What?
To the
what?
faucet.
What's the the faucet? That's not a faucet. Your faucet's in the kitchen.
That's right.
To
Yeah.
the hose thing.
Yeah. Right. The hose thing.
It's a spigot. You got to
Yeah,
know what
right.
it is.
Right.
You know. Anyway,
I mean, I think if you go to Lowe's, it will not be a spigot. It'll be a faucet.
made by Moen probably.
Well, no,
with a
no.
lifetime warranty.
No.
That the fucking red and
No.
blue will fall off at least 2 weeks
right.
later.
Fuck, man. Yeah, exactly. Fuck mowing.
I hate
Dude,
plumbing.
we got one of those.
But again, mowing. It ain't moan.
It's
Hey,
Moen.
your faucet's a moan. You should have got a Delta.
nice. Have a nice fucking day, asshole.
Hey, exactly. You should have hired a plumber sooner. You fuck.
I'm gonna end this bitch. I don't
Yeah,
know how
let's
long
end
this
it.
is, but check this out. I wanted to say if anybody watched till the end here, I want to say good luck to Davo on his endeavor. I really hope
Yeah,
that
good
that
luck,
shit
Davo.
happens.
Pilots?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, I wasn't gonna say anything about it because he's said enough about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, from what I understand, if you and I just set something out there like that, hoping
Yeah.
it's kind of happening for him. I mean, management got a hold of him, and
Cool,
now
that's
they're
cool.
sending him
That is
more
really cool.
things to do.
His voice sounds good.
Oh,
man.
he did a great
sounds
job
really
on it. I
good
told him
it.
that.
Yeah.
I told him that.
Yeah.
But and now I'm like trying to sing it. Like, well, I should have done it too, but I suck. Yeah, I can't do it. I think I can do it, but then when I listen to my recorded voice, I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, can't do
But good luck, Dave, on
good
that, man. I
luck,
hope
Davo.
that happens. And he
And
said,
congratulations in any event. Because,
yeah, and he said also if that does happen, he'll come talk to us on MDR and tell us
dude,
kind of
that'd
what's
be
going
badass,
on.
man.
So, and he should come on anyway. I'd like to talk to that guy.
Well, no, he needs to rip on me in person. Is what needs to happen.
He's living that life that I always dream of. It's like, where in the fuck are you now? The rainforest?
Yeah.
The
right.
rainforest.
And then next week he'll be like surfboarding out in
Right.
the ocean, and then,
Right.
then he'll be like at a cave. What's up, man? It's like, how do you fit that all in one day? What the fuck, man?
know,
His
dude.
itinerary must be strict.
It's-
And then you see this beautiful meal he made.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly.
Like,
Jesus
what the fuck?
Christ,
And he
dude.
probably caught the shrimp by hand, brought
Exactly,
back,
exactly.
went out and got the
Yep,
ginger,
totally.
grew
Yep,
his
yep.
lemons, and
refried all his own beans. Like,
Yeah.
for real. Yep, he's that kind of cat.
Yeah, I'd love to eat some of this shit. I see it, and I'm like, oh man, that looks fucking badass.
Stomach starts growling a little
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I gotta get better friends with Davo, man.
bit. Dave, how much does dinner cost?
Yeah.
man,
But anyway,
shit,
good luck
I'm
with with that, man.
Yeah.
And so Minor Disturbance Radio episode 61. So that's
61.
61,
All right,
yeah, man. So I hope you had a good time. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel, all that bullshit.
Thanks for coming, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. Good job, man.
Thanks, man.
It's nice to meet you.
Fist bumps.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon.